Hi there, and welcome to PowerPoint for Teachers. So I've taught in a few countries now. I've taught in Australia, New Zealand, the UAE, and the UK. And I've noticed that the PowerPoint style of teachers, regardless of country, is kind of the same. It's this white background, very dull, unnecessary animation, really unappealing on the eyes. And my personal PowerPoint style, I think, is pretty good. It's kind of appealing on the eyes. I've got quite a lot of compliments from students saying that they find it easy to look at because I don't have just this boring PowerPoint. So I thought I'd give you guys some guidelines how you can improve your PowerPoints using just 5 major guidelines. These are just key things that anyone can do, and you can improve your PowerPoint presentation. It's aimed at teachers, but anyone can use it. So the PowerPoint is called Improving the Aesthetic of Your PowerPoints. That's our goal here. So right now I'm going to show you guys key guidelines to always make your PowerPoints as appealing as possible. So let's start with the first guideline. Always make sure your PowerPoints are widescreen. So what does that look like? Like that. What an improvement. Already you can see it's widescreen. It's better. There's more to look at. Guideline 2 is make the fonts and pictures as big as possible and center all the text unless it's a list. So the guideline is a list, so we're not going to center that, we're going to keep it justified. But everything else, we're going to center it, which will look like this. Nice. Now, guideline 3 is you want to pick a gentle background color. Blue is always good. Virtually all the teachers I'm aware of will use white unless they buy like PowerPoints from tests and it's just this really busy background which is like a picture of a jungle or something. So just pick just a generic abstract color. Blue is good. So if you go to YouTube, Google and you just search blue, you find a picture, make it your background, and it will look like this. I've always used blue, but if you want purple or green, you can do that too. Guideline 4 is you want to use white, yellow, green, and orange as font colors. Now, I use this for emphasis, and when used, it looks like this. Already much better. The 5th guideline is you want to bold and cast a shadow on all of your font, which looks like this. Now, already we can see major improvements, because if we look at what we started with, that's dull, it's boring. I mean, we know there's not a lot of words there. There's not a lot of information, and it's just you can't look at it. It's just death by PowerPoint. But we can turn it into something pretty cool. So we went from boring to not that hard to look at. I mean, I wouldn't be just, if I was a student and I had a PowerPoint that looked like the one on the left, I wouldn't be too mad. On the right, I'm already falling asleep. So let's use a existing PowerPoint on the system. So the school I'm in now, they've got tons and tons of PowerPoints. I just pick one from history. So this is the American political system. And the learning intention is to evaluate the way the US government works, and you've got your success criteria in that box. So we're going to go through all the 5 guidelines and see how we can improve this and make it a bit more appealing to the eyes. So guideline 1 is make it widescreen. Already it's better. Guideline 2, make the font as big as possible. Very good. Guideline 3, a gentle background color. Again, my favorite is blue. Guideline 4, use white, yellow, green, and orange as font colors, which look like this. And guideline 5 is you want to bold and cast a shadow on all of the font. Now that is a major improvement. Now I would later on add things like get rid of the borders, little black lines, but we'll leave those for later episodes. But major improvement. I mean, we went from that to that. I mean, huge improvements. It is pretty objectively better in terms of how it appeals to the eyes. It's easier to read. I'm more likely going to read what's on the slide if it's colorful, if it's got a nice welcoming background, but not if it's this white boring one. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys how do you do all of this stuff? Because it's one thing to say do A, B, and C, but I'm going to show you how to do A, B, and C. So the first guideline was making it widescreen. All you do is click on Design, slide size, and then just widescreen right there. It used to come in 4:3, so most of the PowerPoints on your system in the school is going to be 4:3. Just click 16:9. That's your first major guideline, and it's going to make a huge difference. The second one is you want to make everything big and centered. So let's go to this second slide here. So basically big and centered, so just highlight everything, go to home, and click the A with the arrow pointing up until it reaches the apex. And what you have to do first is you get the borders, because if you remember here, let me just get rid of these. If I just put this and make it as big as possible, it's going to look all wonky. So press Control, hit the side piece, click and drag, and it will do the same effect on both sides. So now I know that's as big as I can get it. I could get it bigger, of course, but like, that's what she proclaimed. But basically, you want it to be still kind of tasteful, so it's somewhat simple. And then you click the center, which is Control E. And you just do the same for the rest. So Control, click the edge, to the edge, maximize it a bit, and then the center button. Same with these ones, Control, drag, and then just make it a bit bigger. See, you don't want this where it makes two lines, so that should be good. All right, the next one is a gentle background. So this one can be anything. You just want to really, I've actually got the background already. It's just the way I made the slide. But if we were to get rid of this and make a white background, so let's make it white. Okay. So how do you get a gentle blue background? Well, you right-hand click, format background, and then if you find one that you like, you save the picture, and you click picture and then just insert and find wherever that picture is. You could also just do gradient. So you click gradient and preset gradients, and then just pick a nice one you like. I would personally pick, that one's not bad, but that one should do. All right, so that is guideline 3. How do you do guideline 4? This is probably a simple one, you probably already know it. Highlight the font you want. This A under home, you click the arrow down and you pick whatever font you want. So if I want to make that yellow, I just click yellow and you're done. All right, now the last one is bolding and casting. How do you do that? Simply you highlight what you want, you click this big B, and there it's going to make it bold. And then you click the S, which is text shadow, and you're done. So that's how you do the 5 guidelines. But yeah, if you follow this one, you can go from something similar to this to that, which again is, I think, a major improvement. All right, I hope you enjoyed improving the aesthetic of your PowerPoints or PowerPoint for Teachers. And if this gets, the reception that, it motivates that, people want to know how to improve their PowerPoints, sure, I'll make more and more of them until we kind of, get on the right track where PowerPoints just don't suck as much. All right, take care. Please leave a like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment, and see you next video.